weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out in Lil Toe. Come up, go with my ramen, I'ma need another bowl. Let's go. Just now they do anything to be in the spot you're in.
Morbius the movie. Is this meme fucking dead yet? You know, it's really hard to review Morbius because it's so good. First of all, he's a Marvel legend.
He is a Marvel legend.
He's also super fit. Pilates helps.
He's super fit.
Pilates helps.
Furthermore, he needs to consume blood to live.
He needs to consume blood to live.
And most importantly, he is not Venom.
Who the hell are you, man? I am Venom.
He is not Venom.
Everything from the cinematography to the writing to the characters is just perfect. Morbius is the only film that gained $13 more billion twice. Putting inflation into account, that means Morbius bombed twice. The film is expertly written and beyond anything cinema has given us before or even after. The real reason Morbius bombed at the box office was because people knew if they saw it, every other film would be ruined for them. For no film will ever be able to match the intensity of Dr. Michael Morbius. Morbius is such a transcendent experience that my brain refused to understand it, and I forgot what happened in the movie halfway into watching it.
Yeah, it really such a...
Okay, but in all seriousness though, it actually is really hard to review Morbius because nothing fucking happens in it. Morbius is a really weird movie because it quite literally does everything wrong in it, but not to an entertaining degree. It doesn't do anything notably horrible or offensively bad or obnoxious or anything, save for a few exceptions. It kind of just swims around this pool of mediocrity, checking off the generic trope checklist, which somehow makes it worse of a movie. It's just so damn soulless. This movie is a try to care about anything that happens challenge. You know what happens in Morbius? Okay, here's what happens in Morbius. So we have this helicopter and Dr. Michael Morbius walks out, and we get this line.
You a doctor?
I am a doctor.
This is how the writing is for the whole movie. So he does this thing with vampire bats and it's whatever. We then get a Windows Movie Maker transition to Dr. Michael Morbius as a kid. We then meet Matt Smith as a kid, who is crippled like Morbius, so they become friends. And they're both like, man, I wish we weren't fucking crippled.
My legs are broken and kneecaps are sore.
Matt Smith then dies for no fucking reason, so Morbius fixes the computer that's keeping him alive, I guess. Even though he's a doctor, not a technician. So this allows Michael Morbius to become a brilliant science man, while Matt Smith gets cyberbullied and is able to walk for some reason, even though he's paralyzed from the waist down. Meanwhile, Morbius is getting science awards. He then goes back to his Morbius lair, and we get the most boring dialogue known to man. It's devoid of any charisma or anything. The characters have next to no personality. It's like a challenge caring about this fucking story. So anyways, Morbius is all like, oh, using a vampire bat DNA, I can no longer be crippled. Morbius then meets Matt Smith, who is his best friend.
So what's up with the Goon Squad?
They then talk about fucking nothing for 5 years, and that's the whole scene. Then we go on this boat, right? And Morbius is on it for no reason. And he's injecting himself with the Morbius serum. This causes him to start morbing out, and he starts, like, murdering people. We then get the Aquaman boat fight scene. So the movie's just spray painting shit from other movies. It's so fucking derivative. Also, the CGI looks like fucking shit. So Morbius wakes up from committing morb crimes and escapes the boat with nobody finding out it was him, I guess. So he goes back to Castle Morbius and does more research or something. And he starts drinking blood because he's a Playboy Cardi fan now. It looks so shit!
As a result of my procedure, I have an overpowering urge to consume blood.
He's also completely unreactive to him no longer being disabled. He's just kind of chill with it, you know?
Yesterday, I could barely walk. Today, I don't know what I'm capable of.
What? I'd be at least a little fucking emotional. Also, the Dark Knight trilogy music is just plagiarized here. They're gonna need Saul Goodman for this goddamn lawsuit. So now he has Morbius powers, and that's about it. So Morbius starts morbing, and Matt Smith walks in for no reason and gives Michael Morbius some blood. He's then all like, oh, you found a cure, give it to me.
Michael, enough. Just give it to me.
But Morbius is all like, nah, bruh, I ain't giving you shit. But Matt Smith's all like, just give me one hit of that blood, mate. But Morbius is all like,
you better get your own weed. Don't come back to give me back my blunt, bitch ass.
But then Morbius jump scares him.
No, please, Michael, don't.
I said get out! You smoke that gas station! shit weed!
So Matt Smith leaves and that's about it. By the way, we are quite literally 40 minutes into this thing. We are almost halfway done with this movie. And we've only been here for 5 minutes. I'm not joking. Nothing happens in this. We then get this incredibly horrifying scene where a woman gets morbed to death by a jump scare. I mean, it's so scary. And trust me, in the big house, this scene was terrifying. I jumped out of my seat pretending to be invested as a joke. So Morbius then leaves, I guess. I don't know, I just stopped caring at this point. Morbius then puts on his iconic costume, a black fucking hoodie. What an amazing costume. That's just perfect. It's so grounded and realistic and not fucking boring at all. So Morbius meets these detectives who think he's morbing their wives or something. The film then tries to give Dr. Michael Morbius a funny personality. 45 minutes in.
Well, I have good days and bad. Pilates helps.
You know you're supposed to do this throughout the movie, right? He then pulls his Morbius moves on them and tries to morb away to the rooftop, but not before he's caught by the anti-Morbius League. So now he's in prison, where he's suddenly interrogated by Saul Goodman.
Ah, here we go. Public masturbation. I don't get it. What's the kick? Why don't you do it at home like the rest of us with a big flat screen TV, 50 channels of pay-per-view?
We then get a line that just rips off the Hulk, which shows just how derivative this movie really is.
I'm starting to get hungry. You don't want to see me when I'm hungry.
Once again, they're just spray painting other movies into this one. There's a scene way earlier in the movie where they rip off the Amazing Spider-Man. So we have the mouse scene from the Amazing Spider-Man, the boat scene from Aquaman, the music from The Dark Knight, and now a near plagiarized Hulk line. Don't they have laws to prevent this or something? Then Matt Smith comes in, and he and Morbius are all like, oh, we are best friends. But then it turns out that Matt Smith is a vampire now, and that makes Morbius very upset. Morbius then morbs his way out of the prison. Matt Smith then gets a copy of the Daily Bugle, which means that this takes place in the Raimi Spider-Verse, which means this movie is technically Spider-Man 4. Actually, No Way Home would be Spider-Man 4. Oh, also, as the proud owner of Morbius on 4K, there is both a reference to Rhino and Black Cat on this newspaper. Such amazing attention to detail. You wouldn't notice this if you weren't watching the 4K version. So Matt Smith murders this guy for no reason. Morbius then comes down and is all like, stop being evil, Matt Smith.
Took the serum even after I warned you.
Cause I ain't got no weed. I'm sober as hell.
I tried to protect you.
I admit I was capping. Could you just spare me? Oh, hell no. You remember the last time I smoked some of your weed?
So after that riveting conversation, the two have this spectacular subway battle. And by spectacular, I mean bland and boring. Except for the part where Matt Smith hits the fucking gritty for no reason.
Well, it's already hitting the gritty for the UK.
We then get the famous subway flying scene, which is of course famous for being the only thing people remember from this movie. And even then, it's probably from the trailers. We then get another Daily Bugle shot, where this time the Easter egg of the day is Chameleon. So glad I'm watching this in a 4K so I can catch this shit. We then get a really boring talking scene. Oh boy! My favorite! He then puts on his famous Morbius costume and murders these guys for no reason. And once again, at nearly the last minute, they tried getting Michael Morbius to quip one-liners to make him a more funny character, I think. Even though you're supposed to do this throughout the movie.
I love this movie. Is this the part where the mysterious guy with the hoodie comes in and kicks everybody's asses? I love that part.
It could have also been studio meddling. Not only does Sony Pictures have a history of studio meddling, but this scene is where the famous Venom line comes in. Now, in the original Morbius trailer, Morbius exclaims that he is Venom, but not before elaborating that he was just joking around. And in reality, he is actually Dr. Michael Morbius.
Who the hell are you, Matt? I am Venom. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service.
But in the final version of the movie, he just exclaims that he's Venom.
Who the hell are you, Matt? I am Venom. You can go now.
So who is he then? Is he Dr. Michael Morbius or is he Venom? I really cannot tell at all. We then get one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history, when Matt Smith dances to Except by Off the Meds, a song that is just beautiful. The lyrics have sex, I poop my pants, I poop my tin to tin, I poop my spam to spam. It's just wonderfully beautiful. The way Matt Smith awkwardly dances shirtless, the way this tonally clashes with the movie, it just allows it to stand out more. This allows Matt Smith's character, who who isn't from the comics at all to embrace a more nuanced performance. I do wish they used Playboi Carti's music because of the recent vampire aesthetic he's been going for. Or hell, what about his whole opium label? We could have had Ken Carson or Destroy Lonely on this. That would have been real vamp shit. I think it would have really helped the film if all the characters were opium goons. But I'll admit, this is one amazing scene. It really made me morb-jaculate in the theaters. Anyway, so at this point, the film just kind of gives up and includes a bunch of boring, unengaging scenes that all amount to Matt Smith is evil and Morbius exists. And Morbius has a girlfriend whom he has zero chemistry with.
You know, for the record, I wasn't gonna go full Dracula on you downstairs.
For the record, I find him to be quite the romantic.
So we get more scenes where, get this, Matt Smith is the villain of the movie. You can tell because there is a loud sound cue in this scene. You can also tell because he murders someone in this scene. Wait, holy shit, what was that cut? They cut between two completely different versions of the same shot? This is a Hollywood movie. How did they let this happen? So back with Morbius.
What is that?
This is...
Who gives a fucking shit? So now it's time for the final battle. So Morbius's girlfriend is dying. I wasn't paying attention at all. So Morbius is like, I need blood. And she's like, take mine. So he gets AIDS from her or something. And he just dives into that Morbussy. And finally, an hour and 25 minutes in, we see the real Michael Morbius. He looks like a fucking creepypasta, dude. Then get the final action scene, which I would love to watch if I could actually see the fucking thing. It's so dark and filled with this blur shit, I can't even tell what's going on.
Like I said, Jack, it's a crew, and I love minors!
Morbius then uses the power of bats to rip off Batman Begins, and he wins the fight, and that's about it. Morbius's girlfriend then wakes up, and Morbius flies, and the movie literally just ends. Yeah, it's that abrupt. No build-up or anything, it just ends. You know the movie is bad when even the movie wants its own movie to be over. Oh, and the after-credits scene with the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming? That's garbage too. You can tell that Morbius's lines weren't meant for this scene, and were just thrown into the scene in Carrie Fisher Rise of Skywalker style.
Thanks for meeting me, Doc. I've been reading about you.
I'm listening.
I would say this is the worst writing known to man, but that would imply this was written.
But I think a bunch of guys like us should team up. Could do some good.
Intriguing.
No shock, this scene is shit. It's only here to set up Sony's shitty Venomverse, which people keep giving money to for no reason, even though they're fucking awful. And they inadvertently give Sony Pictures money and confidence to make awful movies like Morbius. To everyone who saw Venom, Morbius is your fault. Sony fucked over Spider-Man twice, and they won't stop fucking him over until you stop giving them money for dog shit. But thanks to you guys, we're getting a Kraven the Hunter movie, which will probably be just Morbius, only it's about Kraven fucking around in the jungle for 5 years. An El Muerto movie starring Bad Bunny, which is probably only being made because Bad Bunny is popular and Mexican, even though he isn't. Judging from the information we have so far, it'll probably be like Morbius. They're also making a Madam Web movie, which will be like Morbius, but about a woman sitting in a chair. God, I love the film industry. So that was Morbius. It was amazing. The writing, spectacular. The characters are deep. The storyline is fifth dimensional. The film intentionally makes you fall asleep, so you can dream up a better version of this movie. This is totally unseen in the film industry. This film will give you a morbgasm and will make you morb-jaculate. Women have been reported to morbulate during the movie. People have been kicked out for Morbster baiting to this movie. And I would know, I was one of them. In fact, one movie theater employee once said, I haven't seen this many fluids since that screening for The Bad Guys. This is the first Morb-type movie, and will hopefully give rise to Morbian cinema. We may even enter into a Morb wave of cinema. I give this film my very first Morbius out of 10. Alright, that's enough jokes. The meme's dead now.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch, nah. Throw that shit in fifth, rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star, I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds, I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat, lay back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.
Spider-Man! Чувак, спаси мир!
Ooh, I'm gonna be all up in those feet. Oh, I'm gonna just be sucking on each one of those tootsies. You can't hide them from me. No, no, no. You think you can, but you cannot. Oh no, there's no hiding those sweet, succulent tootsies from me.